Hello, everybody. I'm Lasse Mäkelä. I'm in charge of Multitude IR function. I will be going through a company presentation which takes about 10 minutes or so. So, what is Multitude? We are a listed, profitable FinTech company. And we have been creating success stories in FinTech for the last 2 decades. We were started in Finland in 2005, and we have an EU-wide banking license. Our turnover in 2022 was 212 million euros, and we have about 700 people in 18 countries currently. We have about 400,000 customers, and we are listed at Frankfurt Stock Exchange. We have a clear vision of building the most valued financial ecosystem. I will come back to this ecosystem thinking a bit more later, but if you look at our mission is to democratize financial services through digitalization and making them faster, easier, and green. If we look at our profitability and our progress in the last 18 years, we see that we have been growing all the time and being profitable except for the COVID time. COVID was quite a difficult time for us as people and companies stayed at home. They didn't do any further investments, and they paid down their debts. So at the same time, we also used that opportunity to cut down and end some of the non-profitable countries where we were operating, mostly in Africa and Asia, and we were focusing more on European markets. But now we are glad to say that we are back on growth track again, and we are back on profitability. We have 3 independent business units, which are supported by our growth platform. If I first go through the growth platform at the bottom, all our centralized functions, there's a lot of technological know-how, regulatory know-how, underwriting skills, risk skills, and all the needed sort of shared functions, what our all units need. So this is the growth platform at the bottom. And then part of the growth platform is Multitude Bank, which is the backbone of our banking and financial operations. And all the banking loans are provided by Multitude Bank. Also, the deposit funding is taken in with Multitude Bank. So this growth platform in all its entirety, it produces benefits for us. It's, as mentioned before, regulatory know-how, technology know-how, cross-selling opportunities between the business units, and also funding, as mentioned before. And then we have 3 business units, as mentioned. SweepBank is the youngest business unit in our portfolio. It is a shopping and financing app. It's a neobank app. It represents about 6% of the sales and 24% of loan portfolio, and it operates in 5 countries. Ferratum is our consumer lending business, 84% of sales and 58% of loan portfolio, and they operate in 14 countries. And last but not least, we have CapitalBox, which is our SME lending business. It represents about 10% of the sales and 18% of the loan portfolio, and they operate in 5 countries. I will now go through in more detail these 3 business units. But before doing that, just to mention that Multitude Bank has recently started its own business initiative, which is called warehouse lending. And the warehouse lending concept is that we are lending money to selected operators, now very much in the non-banking lenders or non-bank sort of FinTechs. Okay, let's go through the business units. So first, Ferratum, simplified and inclusive banking for everyone. What Ferratum offers, there are main 3 products. One is the microloans for fast, rapid, short cash needs. And then you have plus loans, which are a little bit longer and larger amounts, up to 4,000 euros and for up to 18 months. And then the last product is credit limit product, which is the most popular product what we have. It is very similar to a credit card type of environment. So it's a revolving credit product for consumers. So consumers can get up to 5,000 credit limit and use it, pay it as they wish going forward. And as said before, we are operating in 14 countries, in Europe mostly, Nordics, Baltics, Central and Eastern Europe. And really, if you look at the customer segments and customers, what we are, this is very much for unplanned financial needs. So if you have need for example, renovating your house or sort of buying a new washing machine or new car, so you can take a loan for shorter time if you know that you are going to get some more money from somewhere else coming later. So bridging this kind of unplanned financial needs. And about 95% of these, the digital onboarding is automized. So it's a very digital, heavy, very automatic process and easy and convenient for the customers. There are about 130 professionals in the Ferratum team, and they are working very much in small, agile teams. And it's good to mention that there's a lot of AI sort of being invested. There are a lot of AI customer service tools, more and more automated, digital, making the customer satisfaction % going quite nicely high. And if we finally look at this positioning at the last box there, why we are uniquely positioned is that Ferratum is using our bank as a scalable funding. So we have an access to deposit funding as the same way as traditional banks. But then if you compare to traditional banks, we are much more fast and automated on average. And then again, most countries have these non-bank financial institutions or local digital lenders. We again are quite different to them because we have the access to deposit funding, whereas many of these other non-licensed players, they need to use their own capital to finance their growth. So there's a big difference in the cost of capital for these players. So uniquely positioned in the market. Then if we look at the CapitalBox, we are a leading European online lending platform for SMEs. There again, we have currently 3 products: installment loans and credit lines for working capital purposes and as a revolver for needs, what you may have. The latest new product is the secured loans, which are designed for larger investments. And these are secured, so we require security. Normally, it's going to be sort of property or real estate as a security for the loans. And this is specifically interesting in the Nordic and the Baltic region, where secured loans is the norm, whereas in Central Europe, often you have unsecured loans up to larger amounts. But good to mention that there's an extensive use of data analysis, and AI has been used at CapitalBox, very automated processes and fast decisions. And we operate in 5 countries currently: Finland, Denmark, Sweden, Lithuania, and the Netherlands. And good to mention that the customer base currently, it's very small companies. They are on average 7 years old companies, very cash flow positive, and their turnover is in the region of 500,000 euros. And as this is a small segment, now really with this new product, this secured lending, we are planning to expand our business to larger SMEs. We are now starting in Finland with this product, but the plan is to expand that further. And what is really exciting about this market is that there is a huge SME funding gap in Europe. Some talk even about 280 billion euros. Larger banks are lending less and less money for the SME sector. So we see a huge funding gap here developing, and we are very much in there with CapitalBox. So we have a lot of hope for the growth for this company going forward. And again, if you look at the positioning, there are a lot of these smaller sort of agile players, but then again, they can often give a little bit smaller loans. And there's again the question about funding and getting deposit funding through the group. And then you have the larger banks on the less agile side, but giving larger loans. And as we know, some of these banks have been pulling out of the SME segment. So again, CapitalBox nicely positioned in its own way. Then last but not least, SweepBank, which is a digital shopping and financing app. So what that really is, we have a proprietary mobile banking platform, and we have an open API architecture for that platform. The three main products are digital credit cards, prime loan financing, and then basic banking with a mobile wallet solution. The SweepBank is currently operating in 5 countries: Finland, Latvia, Denmark, Germany, and Sweden. But there's been quite a lot of changes in SweepBank recently. There was some reorganization done last year. But with this new focus of SweepBank, we are mostly focusing on the prime loan market in Latvia currently, and then the credit card business in Finland. And our intention is to make the company SweepBank profitable next year. And if you see the picture at the bottom, you see pretty much how the app looks like. You have debit cards, current accounts, savings accounts, credit cards, and prime loans. So a neobank app with a lot of shopping and financing possibilities. So finally, what are the key takeaways about us as Multitude? So we are a digital banking and lending company. We have expertise of over 2 decades. We have very strong track record and history of delivering growing and profitable business. And we have clear synergistic benefits of using one growth platform to serve various different customer segments. And our portfolios are very nicely diversified because it's geographically, but also through different customer segments. And finally, we are uniquely positioned European-wide FinTech player, and we have a full access to deposit funding. So those are the key takeaways about us. I thank you for listening. And if you have any further questions about Multitude, we are happy to help you. Please email at ir@multitude.com. Thanks very much.